Hey guys, it's Ashley from Manifestation Experiment. Today I'm going to be talking about how I manifested my student loans being paid off. You heard me correctly. No more student loans for me. So I just wanted to go ahead and share my process and how it happened and just share my journey. So I'm going to go ahead and start with in case you're not familiar, manifestation process is pretty much ask, believe, and receive. Sounds very simple, but we like to make things a little bit more complicated and get in our heads and all that stuff. So anyways, moving right along, about 6 years ago, I graduated school, and I came out owing like $24,000. And so, I mean, I feel like that's pretty typical. And I was just making a monthly payment every month, $300. Didn't think anything of it. Well, about probably right around a year and a half, 2 years ago, I started getting into Dave Ramsey. I'm sure you guys have heard him. He's all about being debt-free and like pretty much being very aware of what you owe and where your money is going. That's what I'm gonna kind of take from that. So I started getting on this like huge, like I realized like, oh my God, like how much interest I had paid on these student loans. I think I like calculated and it had came out to, I think I had paid close to like $11,000 in student loan interest, and only like $5,000 of that was towards my payoff. $6, because it went from $24,000 to $18,000. So I was like, I'm making these payments every month, like where the heck is this money going? And so I just want to kind of throw that out there for anyone that is trying to manifest money in general, or anything to do with your money mindset. You want to be aware of where you're at and where your money is going. Like anything else in your life, your relationship with your money is how you treat money, is how you show up for money is how money is going to show up for you. How you treat money is how money is going to treat you. So if you don't know what you currently owe or where you're currently at, and you don't know where your money is going to, whether that's interest or the balance or how much you paid into something, I mean, that's not a very good relationship and you're not showing up very well for it. So that was kind of like my first starting point. So I realized that my money, like a lot of it was going to interest. So I was like, I need to get rid of this stuff. So I started chunking some money at it, and that's kind of how it started. I got burnt out because I was doing so much. And then I started getting really into manifestation. So when I got really into manifestation, the whole, like I was saying earlier, the whole Dave Ramsey thing didn't really work for me anymore, because I felt like it was this crazy, like, scarcity mindset. Like, and obviously for everyone it's completely different. If this works for you, like, please don't think that I'm downplaying it. I do think there's certain aspects that are amazing. But for me, it was kind of like, I was like waiting for like the next thing for my money to be taken away. So it was like very like scarcity, and that's just the way I viewed it. And then when I started getting to like money manifestation and just manifestation in general, I started realizing there's like an abundance of resources in this world when it comes to money, when it comes to love, when it comes to anything. And so I really wanted to take my journey of money into an abundance and not so much of a scarcity, like I had to pay this off, like as it was, if it was a bad thing. So I kind of started viewing the way I looked at my student loan debt, which was, I so strongly before like saw it as this like horrible thing, instead of like, you know, such a positive thing. Like yeah, the school let me borrow this money, but that's how I'm like living and making an income now, and I'm making pretty decent money, and just being thankful that they put that trust in me, and being thankful that it wasn't even more than $24,000. I've heard people come out with hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. And just being thankful that I was aware enough. I got to the situation where I was aware enough of where my money was going and what I was doing with it. So the first thing is like, I changed my mindset about this debt as coming from a place of gratitude to thank you so much for like being able to get this knowledge and education to like, be at the place I am now, to be thankful for the present and what I have currently. So that was like, I feel like one of the big factors is changing my mindset and being aware of how much I owed, where it was going to, and also being very careful with my words. I hear a lot of people that say like student loan debt, like, oh, I'll have that forever, or yeah, it's never gonna go away, or we just can't right now. And you might feel those ways, you might feel that in that present moment, but I just feel like the more manifestation that I'm getting into, the more I realize like how powerful my words are. Like, I feel like I get in this zone where it's like I say something and it just like starts popping up. And so now I'm just like, since I've had so many of those little those scenarios pop up for me, now I'm so careful with what comes out of my mouth, because I literally feel like I have manifested the wrong thing by saying or even thinking sometimes something. So I'm always trying to focus my thoughts on what I want. So before I go off on another tangent, I just have been very careful with my words. I kept saying like, I'm gonna pay this off, I'm gonna be debt free. I would write it down in my journal. I would talk about how like free I felt. And then the other thing I did was I got into alignment with those feelings. So I thought like, okay, student loan debt, I have this amount, and how am I gonna feel? What feeling am I gonna have once I achieve that? And so a lot of it is freedom, right? Like you just feel free, like you don't owe them that money. Like think of all like the money, the extra money that I'll have. Like, so I try to align myself with that goal by doing things that made me feel free. So for example, like to me, going to the beach feels very free. Like sitting in the ocean, putting my feet in the sand, anything that makes myself get that urge, or just having a weekend like completely open and just doing what I wanted with it, like not putting any obligations or anything like that, almost like I guess like a staycation. So put myself in alignment with the feelings that I wanted from that student loan to be paid off. And lastly but not least is I put energy into it, extra energy. So they say what you focus on expands. And so I would do things like, even if I could say I was just making my normal payment, if I could only put an extra $20, I'm not even joking, $20, $10, $5, I don't care what it was, I would throw some more money on top of it. And like, I know it's kind of like, oh, a payment for $5, $10, $20, like what? But no, I would add it because I'm like, okay, that's me putting more energy. That's me putting more thought, more time into paying this off. And every time I did that, I would just do it with a place of like, not like, oh my God, if I was throwing a larger amount or a smaller amount, oh my God, $500 of my paycheck just went to paying off this student loan. I would come from a place of like, gratitude, like I am so thankful that I'm able to throw this money towards it and I'm one step closer. And I would literally like feel it. I would feel it. So yeah, that's kind of how that was my mindset, the things that I physically did, my awareness and all that stuff. But how it actually got paid off was even a little bit more mind-blowing, to be quite honest with you. So I feel like this is stuff like so wild, crazy out there. Like you can't even make it up. Like it's just like, wait, what? So I was on the computer and I was looking at something that I wanted, that I felt was a little bit out of my intentional goals with my money at the time, notice my wording on that. So I was looking at it and I was like, well, if I didn't have that student loan payment, I was like, I could afford that. I was like, that would make sense. Probably, I kid you not, 30 seconds, maybe 30 seconds to 2 minutes, I don't know. I get a phone call and my brother's calling me. My brother is like the best person, by the way. Anyways, my brother's calling me and I answer the phone. Long story short, somebody who I wasn't even talking to during that time period asked for my information because they were going to pay the remainder of my student loan off. And it was literally after I thought that about the thing that I wanted to purchase or upgrade my lifestyle with, and I got that phone call. And I was like, wait, what? And it wasn't like immediate. It was, we were talking for a little bit on the phone and he's like, oh yeah, so I totally forgot to tell you on so-and-so date, like yada, 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 yada. I need your account information. I was like, where did this come from? Like, where, like, it was like, what? And then I started freaking out because I was like, I just was thinking, like, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. And my brother knew, my cousin, anyone that knows me pretty well has known that I wanted this student loan paid off. And I just, like, had this, like, crazy, like, I don't know, like, realization, like, epiphany. And I was just like, this is insane. Like, so, yeah, don't ever think that something is impossible. Don't ever think that you can't manifest the things that you want. And I think it was just that I wasn't fixated on how it was going to happen. I was just starting to, like, pour cash and energy as much as I could. Because earlier, when I first started this journey, I was getting, like, penny pincher about everything and the money putting into it. And I feel like that was slowing my process down. When I really got into the manifestation portion of it, where I was just putting energy of what I could into it and, you know, pretty much just believing that somehow it was going to happen. That's literally when it happened. So my intention of all of this is to hopefully help somebody else that is, you know, trying to either manifest something in particular, or I hope something that I said just clicks with you. I hope something, you know, helps you manifest something that you want. But again, I would like to remind everyone, I did decide that this channel was to track the things that I manifest and just kind of see for myself, like, what the hell I could manifest. So, yeah. That's why I'm doing this video, and I hoped it helped you guys, and thank you so much for liking or subscribing to my videos, and I wish you all nothing but love and prosperity and many manifestations. So thank you for your time today, and I will see you guys soon.